Wow, I'm so smart. All right, so I thought I had unmuted my mic, but I had unmuted something else that's not even plugged in. Good job, me. Right, all right, so I had gone into a tangent like 5 seconds in. All right, what was I saying? Hello, everybody. Let's just start that over. Hi, how is everybody doing? I, God, I don't even know why that setting is still in my, Please tell me my microphone's working now. It's registering on Streamlabs. I'm hoping it's working now. God, okay, that threw me completely off. All right, let's just start back over. Hi guys, how's it going? I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm sorry we didn't stream on Monday. As you could, I was just completely exhausted. I woke up Monday morning knowing that I needed to get some stuff done before I needed to stream, and was like, nope, I can't do this. I'm tired. My body hurts. I don't have the mental energy. I'm just gonna veg out all day, and that's what I did, and it was nice, and I needed it. But today we're gonna actually do this, and this is specifically something I need to do in order to make this project work, because my reference material is absolutely terrible, because all of my references for all the characters are just like shoved in folders and nothing's uniform. It's very hard for my eyes to draw. I am going so off topic. Right, so we're going to be working on the, I don't know if we're going to draw all 6 of them. We're going to draw as many as I can, but we're going to be working on the main party that will be featuring in D&D campaign that I played. And oh no. Okay, my connection is stable. I'm just getting, I hope. Sorry guys, I'm getting weird pop-ups. All right, everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's also storming where I am right now, so I'm a little worried about my internet connection. So, about, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago now, I think it was 2 years ago, I did a Halloween series where I put out about 4 videos in October. That was a creepy voice acting, animatic audio experience of Into The Farwood, which was an arc I went through in a campaign, which was super spooky, and my DM did a fantastic job, and I just needed to tell the world all the creepy stuff that happened, and I didn't even get around to finishing it because more creepy stuff happened that got so much more complicated, and then I also ran out of time to work on things. So I wanted to finish the series because I had a lot of people, I kept getting comments of people wanting more. So originally I was just cleaning up my notes because I wrote all of my notes from my character's perspective as journal entries, and I was just cleaning them up to make them legible and readable, and I was going to just publish that and be like, "Hi, here's a book." And while I'm not the worst writer in the world, I kind of realized, Shelby, the best thing you could do is draw. Like, that is your best skill, and that is like the skill that you have built for like the last nearly 20 years. Why the fuck are you like dumping into writing? You're an okay writer, but you're like a good artist. So I decided I was going to make this a graphic novel series. And I have spent the last 4-ish months. I've spent the last 4-ish months basically making my roadmap. I have a ungodly large Trello that I'm using to keep myself on track. I pretty much have every major arc mapped out. It helps that I not only have my notes, but I also have another player's notes that are incredibly thorough to reference so that I can keep everything. This was also a campaign I came into, I think like 80 sessions in or something like that, or like 40 sessions in. So I don't actually have the entire story, which makes it more fun to tell it from Brevir's perspective as she learns things. But a lot of rambling aside, hi Traden, hi Ty Bruner, hi Ash, welcome in. Today we're going to draw at least, I hope, all 6 of the main characters. I don't know if I'll get around to all 6, because some of them are gonna challenge me artistically. Nothing wrong with that. And what's he doing back there? He's being cute. I try to keep him in frame, just because I know everybody loves Kitty. Who doesn't love Kitty? Right. So, we're just gonna hop into it. I'm not gonna sit here on the cam too long. I just wanna come say hi. Let me just get my references up. So there are 6 characters. Actually, hold on. I'm going to switch this over to a screen, and then I'm just going to show you what was the thumbnail image of the stream. And I'm going to tell you who's who, and we're going to work from there. So ignore this. Ignore all these lines right now. I was trying to maybe make my life just a tiny bit easier because all of these are characters of varying heights. But we'll see how much I can stick to that. I'm very bad at proportions, so we'll see. But this is the party in question. Some of you guys might have seen me when I posted this years ago. This was like a 3 years ago. Damn. Okay. Right. It feels crazy that this game ended this long ago because this was the best campaign I have ever played. I loved every arc, every character story was awesome. My DM did a fantastic job. My DM's actually in the chat, if I'm gonna call you out. Ash in the chat is actually the DM mastermind behind this fucking entire game. And one of the absolute best D&D experiences I've ever had. So, we're just gonna go from left to right, say who's who, and then we're gonna jump into it. Where's my cursor? Hello? Oh, my tablet's upside down. That would be helpful if I didn't do that, wouldn't it? Alright. Let me just get... Nope. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, please. OBS, not OBS. Streamlabs, please be nice. Stop giving me weird notifications. Everything's fine. Streamlabs keeps saying that my connection is faulty, but YouTube says it's fine. So I'm just gonna guess that I'm not stuttering and that everything's fine, but I'm sure you guys will be the first to let me know. Right, so from left to right, I'm going to be calling them these characters by the names that you will meet them. And full disclosure, this one will not look like this. This is Cecilia. This is sort of a spoiler. But you guys will actually probably meet her as Lament first, because that's how I met her. But at this point, where she was drawn, her name was Cecilia. Then we have Cecilia was a Cecilia/Lament was, I believe, a Bloodhunter Ranger mix. And this was their beast companion Naja. Then we have Dash of Gold, who I believe was a rogue fighter. We have Aru, who was a sorcerer paladin. We have Brevere, who was a warlock bard. We have Altharian, who was a rogue wizard. I believe he was a blade singer. This is Brevere's familiar Brina, who is a Tressum. This is Altharian's familiar, who is just a cat, Moon Whisper. And then we have Nakai, who I think was just a straight artificer. I don't remember if Nakai multi-class, and I'm sure Ash will correct me if Nakai did. But I remember them as just a straight artificer. So this is the party. Absolute Chaos Party was what this was. But it was very fun, and this was also my first introduction to one of my current D&D groups that I still think I have some of the best D&D stories with. So we're going to start, as you guys will know her in the beginning of the story, but a lot explained in the prologue, so it'll make sense, I promise. So we're gonna draw her first, and then probably Aru, and then Cecilia, and we'll see how much time we have from there. So I made these little guidelines for myself to try and keep the heights consistent, though I also did a very shoddy job measuring all of this, since I just wanted it to be somewhat consistent. And we do have a character that is nearly, I think over 7 feet, or just right at 7 feet. So, it's gonna be interesting. I'm also gonna be cheating and using the ever-loving shit out of the symmetry tool, and, I am not sorry about it. The purpose of this is so that I can have a visual reference for... Hold on, what is... Okay, there's nothing in there. So that I can have a visual reference, to pull from that's all in the same art style, that, with details that I can highlight. And I have to do this for every single character in Beyond the Horizon. And there are, I think, on my Trello, over 40 of them. So this is going to be fun. Obviously, the main cast are going to get a far more detailed design than everybody else, but still, it's gonna be fun. Right, so let's get started. So, height-wise, Brevere was about 5'2", so I think that's gonna put us at Stopper JJ. Hello, good afternoon. How are you? I think we're gonna put. That's more like 5'1". Let's go up. We'll put that as 5'2" and say that's where Brevere's height. That's how tall she is. So, except I drew that way too big. Now this is where I'm really not good at this, and I'm trying. This is me trying something pretty new when it comes to this particular layout of how to draw reference, but I also really wanted a height chart. So, this is just what we're working with. Right. So, thankfully I've drawn Brevere a couple thousand times. And she's one of those characters that I still draw a lot just because she's fun to draw. She's got like this long... Here, I'll just show. This is one of the reference images I'm pulling from because this was the original image I did of Brevere. And along with this was another one of her original images. Please keep in mind that this art was, I think, 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old. It's probably getting closer to 5. At this point, but this art is very old, so well, I don't expect anybody to be particularly like to be particularly like, wow, that's her old artwork. It is old, and I'm not a big fan of how it looks now. Let's see. And the other image I have as reference is this one, but this was kind of far later. I mostly just have it for hair. So, as I said, Brevere was a warlock bard. She was a Pact of the Fiend warlock and an eloquence bard by the end, but in the beginning of the series, she is, I think, just a straight warlock. I love my warlocks. Warlocks are my favorite. You cannot go wrong with a good warlock, in my opinion. And Brevere was, I think, honestly, probably one of the most intense characters I ever played, and one of the most conniving characters I ever played, and one of the shadiest characters I ever played. But I think that's what made her so fun. I love high charisma characters, and she was just high charisma through and through. Each of us in the party had a role. The concept is that we were seekers, which were basically just like explorers, tomb raiders, you know, whatever we needed to be for an organization called the Order of the Silver Star. And Brevere was given the role of speaker, which basically, you know, it says, it's exactly what it says on the tin. You know, she's the one that speaks for the party and gets us out of messes. I'm gonna shrink her just a little bit when they occur, and they occurred multiple times, and Brevere got really good with her deception and persuasion skills, specifically to handle these situations. We're gonna go ahead and just very, very, very quickly block out a human shape. She was a human, which I think makes her I think she was the only human in the party. Yes, she was the only human in the party. And honestly, one of the very few times I play human. I don't normally play humans. We're gonna do all of this. I'm gonna try and do this relatively quickly, and honestly, I might just very, very quickly block down like her hair and move on to getting the other figures, just so we can get everybody else drawn. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on Brevere and then realize, and like Brevere and like Aru, and then realize I have to speed through Lament because I took too long. Especially because, as per usual, I don't plan to be live for more than 2-ish hours. That's kind of all my poor ADHD executive dysfunction brain can take. So, alright, those are hands. Those are just gonna have to be hands. We're gonna call those hands, and we're just calling it a day. Right, so she started, I believe, with her hair up. So that's what we'll do. Because these are all the starting designs. Really, the most important things about Brevir's design is she has a very large scar across her face. And that needs to stay consistent, which is going to be fun because that never stayed consistent in her actual artwork that I used for the game, let alone, like, never stayed the same size or shape. But we're going to try. I'm just blocking out some very basic body shape here. And we will, my trick so that I can keep my ruler. We're just going to very quickly put her clothes down. Thankfully, her clothes are very quick to put down, at least in this particular design. Her clothes were very quick. They're very symmetrical. It's very straight and proper, and it's just a lot of straight lines and fitted fabric. So the party met her in a... and I don't even know if I can say this because YouTube might get mad. It was a party for worshippers of Gratz, and if you know who Gratz is in D&D lore, you probably know what that party consisted of. He's the Lord of Hedonism, and I will let you figure out everything from there. And she was found in basically the dungeons of this place, having gotten picked up in the desert, while she was trying to go find a place called Tathador, and that is where the comic is going to open, is when she ends up meeting the party. As I said, this entire comic is from her perspective, so it's going to be a lot of her internal monologue and how she interacts with the party, because that's really the only thing I can accurately portray. I think out of all the characters I've ever done, Brevere is probably one of my favorites design-wise because she was just a lot of monochrome. Her hair was very fun, especially when I started drawing it down and like super wavy. Because if you like looked at her, the first picture I did of her, her hair was very straight, and that was just before I decided, actually no, I want like curvy haired madness. And I guess I should probably say this now, but she was very much inspired by Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Before Game of Thrones got really, really annoying to watch. So, like, I guess Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones before Season 6. Not even Season 8, just before Season 6. That was kind of when I stopped giving a fuck. So I think it's very clear in her design because I wanted that like wavy mane of hair. What is it? Oh, that's the floor. Where's the lines? I need to. There we go. Super Pumpkin Man, welcome in. Yeah, that's kind of me every other day. It's not very often now that I get a chance to kind of sit down and draw. I try to make sure I do it on my days off. Or at least like doodle or something. I carry around a sketchbook pretty frequently, so I try to at least doodle, but it doesn't always go well. So the two most important things to Brevere's design, I think that I need to remember are obviously the scar on the face I mentioned, and she also has a pocket watch. She is a pact of the Fiend Warlock. She sold her soul for reasons, and she as every other pact of the Fiend Warlock probably is like has to pay unless you're I don't know what your story is. The classic thing you have to pay is souls to the Nine Hells. And her means of collecting souls is through a pocket watch. It ticks down to tell her how much time she has before her next payment. And she physically collects the souls within the pocket watch before her devil, Fetch, comes and takes them. And Fetch is somebody that I am both very excited to introduce and someone I very much dread introducing because he's a huge bitch. Just a huge bitch. And I can't say why because it's very spoiler heavy. But Fetch is a huge bitch. He's simultaneously one of the characters I hate the most and one of the characters I was most excited when he would come around, because things would always be interesting. Right, we're gonna call that her hair. I'm gonna give her a very quick face, and then we're going to move on to blocking out Aru, who's probably gonna take me a lot longer because I have to draw plate armor, guys. I'm so bad at drawing armor. This whole thing, as I've been blocking this comic out, I've realized that not only am I gonna get a shit ton of practice drawing armor, I'm gonna get a shit ton of practice drawing fighting, drawing spells. Those eyes are too big and too far apart. And I'm gonna get a lot of practice drawing anthro. Like anything, because we have like a tabaxi and I should probably say we have a tabaxi, and Nakai is one of my DM's homebrewed races called a Gek, and they're like little skink people that live in don't close, that live in jungles. So pretty cool, but also a huge pain in the ass for someone who mainly just draws human women to draw. No, my DM assumes, Stopper, JJ, my DM actually assumed the role of Fetch, and my DM was the person who, shaped a lot of Fetch's personality, and why he is such a bitch. So, no, most of the time I had to interact with my patron, it was for important, like, story matters. I think I only had, just because of how the story went and things that happened, I think I only actually summoned him to deliver souls a couple times. Because I feel like Beyond the Horizon, at least in the first couple arcs, took place, like, it took place over the course of, like, a week, and then we entered a place where time got weird. So I couldn't deliver souls, and then just a lot of stuff happened. So anytime my patron showed up, it was normally for something pretty important story-wise. Which I'm sure if people go back on my Instagram, you probably can see some of the stuff that happened, because God knows I posted enough about it. We'll call that. Right, I just need to put a pocket watch on her and we can call her done, probably. Right, where am I gonna put... I think I just had it around her neck originally, so that's what we're gonna do. Just get a new... Nope. And there we go, and we'll just erase this here and there, and call that good enough. Right. Delete that ruler, pull back. Now we'll delete. And we'll leave that. We'll throw this in. Oh, nope. Throw this in a folder. And label it. I'm sorry if you guys hear my clipping next to the mic. I don't have a lot of desk space, so we're just doing what we can. Brevere. I need to get into the habit of calling this woman Valwyn. I got used to calling her Brevere for so long. We'll get into that. She goes by a pseudonym for a very large person, or not even a pseudonym, an alias for a very large portion of the original game. She didn't come back, I think, as Valwyn until the as Brevere until the arcs. Hi. You okay? I heard heaving. You guys want to take a cat break? Hold on. Alright, hold on. We're gonna take a quick cat break because cat breaks are nice. Come here. Come here. Come to mama. Come. Ooh, watch the claw. Watch that claw. Watch that claw. I know. He's big and chunky, and it's hard for me to grab him. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Oh, my... Yes, that's my boy. Right, we're gonna move over to camera real quick so you guys can get... Just boy. Just a boy. He's very sleepy right now because it's very rainy outside. Oh my goodness. Oh god, are you gonna fall asleep like this? Are you actually gonna fall asleep like this? Come here. Come here. Mama's gotcha. So, anybody who is just new coming in here, this is Levi. This is Baby. Mama became Shelby became a cat mom. And oh, he is... This was a mistake. I can't put him down now. Can we just show them that cute face you're making? Can you just show them that really cute face you're making? Yeah. Yeah, we can. Right. Is it cruel for me to now put him away? I did just scoop him up just so he would come let me love him, but is it mean for me to make him go away now? Maybe, but... Ready to go back? I gotta show him I love him every now and then. Right. Back to it. I'm procrastinating, drawing plate armor. I know. Oh, Jesus, that was loud. Sorry, that was right next to the mic. Right, let's go back to canvas. How fucking much taller than fucking Revere was Aru. Or than Valn was Aru. Alright, so like a head-ish taller? Well, I should probably put my symmetry tool down first and move it. Okay, so Revere is here. She come up to Aru's shoulders, which would be about here. So I think Aru's about here? That doesn't seem right. Did I just really fuck up her proportions? You know what? We're just gonna go with it. This character is already gonna be the hardest character to draw. I already know this, so we're just gonna go with it. So Aru was our Sorkadin. They were, I believe, a Conquest Paladin to Mistra and a Divine Soul Sorcerer. So, fun combination. Absolute powerhouse. And also with an uncanny ability to roll natural 20s when we fucking needed them to roll natural 20s. So the way my DM works crits, which I'm sure other DMs have as well, but the way my DM works crits is instead of doubling the dice, you max out the dice damage and then add what you roll to it. So these crits are great when we get them, and they fucking suck when they're crit against us. And I happen to also be a crit magnet. I get crit a lot in this game. But we make up for it, because when we crit ourselves, we, hit with the fucking force of the sun. I actually might need to pull some more of Aru's artwork out. So we're gonna do that. So, in here. I have two references from Aru. This was done by an artist on Etsy, I believe, that unfortunately is no longer in business. And this other piece was done by a friend of mine whose artist tag is Taxness. And she does very, 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 she's like a very talented character designer. She does these beautifully rendered, painted, they almost remind me of oil. Of like oil or like really heavy acrylic on canvas, the way that she puts color down, and I love it. And I'm gonna have to pull these out because I realized I did everything I could to try and avoid drawing any of Aru's musculature in my party image. So it's gonna be fun. I'm really bad at drawing men in general, but I'm really, really bad at drawing men that have to be at all built, and Aru, I believe, had like a 20 strength, so we're just gonna work with this. It'll be fine. I'm gonna call that a... Remember, these are very rough passes. We're going to fix things. I just need to block out some general shapes first. I feel like I made him way too narrow there. Yeah, no, he needs to be a bit more triangular, I think. God, how do fucking men work? I don't know. Stopper J, yeah. I think that's what it is. All I know is it's absolutely destroyed my ability to love crits in any other game because nothing feels as good as, like, nothing, absolutely nothing feels as good as hitting with a, like, it's like hitting with, like, all of your buffs that, like, add, like, all this extra dice to your damage and suddenly you're doing, like, 70-something damage. From, like, one attack. And, of course, my DM is pretty good about keeping it balanced. You know, I've never felt like we killed... Well, it's been very rare that I've ever felt like we've killed things too quickly or that things weren't a challenge. And like I said, when you get crit, it fucking sucks. I have died to brutal criticals before. Way back when we were doing Tomb of Annihilation, I died to an assassinate because it crit the poison damage and did something like 170 fucking damage to me. Killed me outright. It was crazy. These hands are just not wanting to work, are they? And there were moments like this in Beyond the Horizon too, which I don't even know if I've said that that's the name of... I am the worst at promoting my own work. The comic is called Beyond the Horizon. There we go. I don't even know if I said it, but that's it. At least the first installment is called Beyond the Horizon, and that's the one I'm currently working on. Alright, so that's a hand. We're just gonna leave that there, because I also need to establish where, like, the crotch line is, because basic anatomy is that the... basic anatomy states that the wrists should be roughly in line with the crotch. Once, like, when your arms are, like, relaxed. So we're just gonna delete these arms. And we're gonna stop making this so hard on myself. Hello, music? Why did you stop? Oh, there it goes. Alright, so that's where the rib cage is. That's where it's the waist. That's the high hip. Here's the hip. Alright, we're just gonna do some feet lines real quick, some leg guidelines so that I actually know what I'm doing. That's better. That seems a bit more reasonable. So I think I need to shrink the head down a little bit because it seems like a bit of a bobblehead, but that's a bit better. That's better. All right, so I'm also going to also going to get Aru's horns down just very quickly. Aru was an abyssal tiefling, which means, and I think Aru might be where I got this, or maybe I just liked doing this and Aru was a coincidence, but one of my favorite things to do with Abyssal Tieflings is to give them fluffy tails. I went on a whole tangent about this when we drew Tieflings. And Aru is another example of an Abyssal Tiefling with a fluffy tail that I freaking love. Full disclosure, Aru's story was probably my favorite of Beyond the Horizon. Like, I loved everybody's story, but Aru specifically was probably my favorite other PC story. Let's see. Right, those are hands. We're just gonna call those hands. It's fine. Alright, now I need to make a quick other layer so that I can add a tail. And like I said, it is a fluffy tail. I think it's supposed to be a lion's tail. Which, Ari's player, if I got that wrong, please correct me. Don't let me lie. Right. Now we're going to... Oh, block... Oh, God. Thankfully, plate armor is relatively symmetrical, so I only have to draw one half of it. Thank God the fucking symmetry tool exists. But I hate drawing plate armor, and I'm gonna have to do it so often. Damn it, Fred, why did you do this? Alright. So I guess we'll start with this. Seems about right. That's what I thought. Okay. Thanks, El. What the fuck is your... Elsu Gold? Alright, alright, Fred, let's go. I just remember it was fluffy, and it made drawing Aru very fun. That's what I remember. So, let's see. I'll get the pauldrons down now, since that's absolutely gonna be the part that's gonna fucking hurt me the most. I mean, the one thing I can say is that because it is just D&D armor, and fantasy, I can make it mildly ridiculous, and it doesn't have to make sense, because fuck you, it's magic. GG1954, so I pretty much only use the symmetry tool when I'm doing front-forward faces, because I have a really hard time getting isometrical, or when I'm doing these. Like, these kinds of drawings, because I just need them, I just need them for, like, a height comparison, or, like, to jot details down, and then I can work on, like, getting them from separate angles that way. But yeah, no, I used, especially, before I really started getting good about flipping my canvas, the symmetry tool would just be weird, because I would look at it and be like, that's not my artwork, what the hell? Not realizing that all of my work was, like, sort of slanted to the right. Let's see. We'll call that the first layer of the breastplate, I guess. Well, I believe that Fred, correct me if I'm wrong, but the person who did Aru's original artwork did, like, they did, like, World of Warcraft, like, artwork, right? I don't know if they were one of, I don't know if they were one of the artists, or if they did, I don't know if they, like, worked, I don't know if you said they worked on them, or if they just did a lot of, like, World of Warcraft inspired art. And, you know, when you just look at the fucking pauldrons you could get in fucking WoW sometimes, this is pretty reasonable. Sarah Elwood, welcome, welcome. So currently the cast we have drawn is Valn, or Brevere. I keep calling her Brevere, but you guys will know her as Valn. And right now we are working on Aru. That's what I thought. I remember you mentioning that, but I didn't know. But, like, we had that conversation, like, 3 years ago. So I couldn't quite remember. Alright, these scale things, and I'm gonna BS the ever-living shit out of the chainmail, if I'm honest with you. Because I hate drawing chainmail. Probably more than anything, I hate drawing chain. But I'm gonna do it because I love Aru and, you know, boy wears chain. Right, so he's got his guards here. Okay, I should probably put a belt. Add the belt, and then we can figure it out. That there. All right, I've put where the high hip is, so that'll help. As much as I'm complaining, I'm honestly not too mad about how this is turning out. Since I drew that last picture, ours. I think these are double. On one side it's double? You know what? Fuck it. I need to simplify this shit for recreation. We're just gonna go with that. Since I drew the original Beyond the Horizon party image, this is far... I've drawn armor a bit more... a few more times, especially because I played a blood hunter and just straight up had to learn how to draw at least half plate. So... we're just gonna go with it. Sometimes, you know, one of my favorite artists had an amazing hack, and it's just you layer a bunch of shapes that look to make it look more complicated than it actually is, and it just looks cool. We're just gonna do that. If anyone's looking at this for actual accuracy, I will point out to you that we are dealing with a paladin man who is also like an abyssal devil thing. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm justifying this to literally no one. Nobody is coming at me for this. Alright, so Aru also had cape. We're gonna stop that there at a bit more nice, reasonable length. I believe Aru had symbols of Mistra on the sides. At least this Aru is going to have symbols of Mistra on the sides. So, we're just gonna really quickly. No, that'll work for now. Aru has a lot of scars on their arms, and I want to make sure I include them. Hold on. Speaking of fucking scars, what did I not include over here? God damn it. I got so used to drawing her without this that now I like struggle to remember to draw her with it. There we go. Fixed. Damn it. Alright, so it looks like Aru's got some wrist bandaging, so we'll work on getting that on. Agreed. Tieflings with fluffy tails are like the best tieflings. Stand by that. Hands are at slightly awkward angles, but we're just gonna work with it. It's fine. Now this is the fun part. I only have a like hip up reference, so we're just gonna bullshit the leg guards, and again just layer a bunch of shapes and hope and like just vaguely make them match the way these shapes up top were, so it looks like it's all from the same set, and we're just gonna call it a day. And we'll just do some like nice sturdy boots. Oh, did they? Alright, cool. Well, if you have a listing, Fred, and you send it to me, I'm happy to put it up on stream and be like, hey, this was the artist that did this original artwork. Because I love, like, this, like, I need to do that for, I probably should do that for Attackness, too. Because this is gorgeous. Like, this is beautiful. Like, god damn it, this is beautiful artwork, and I genuinely, until you told me that this was something you got commissioned, was just thought this was just somebody's cool artwork that you'd found on Pinterest and were using as a face claim. So, if you have a link, like, DM it to me, and I will gladly, like, pin it in a comment for the stream along with Jesse's stuff. Right, we're gonna go ahead and get Aru's face down real quick. Aru was technically the first person I think that Valwyn met in the game, now that I'm thinking about it, because of how they met, and also the first person she spent any extensive amount of time with, so gonna have to probably get this down pretty fast, because like I said, this comic is entirely from Brevir's perspective. So we'll kind of just be following her and all the other shit that's happening. I'm going to do my best to also include all of the party's arcs. But all of it is going to be from Brevir watching, or Valwyn watching. One day I'll call her the right name that she is at that point in the story. If you've seen Into the Farwood, you probably know that Brevir has a very long and complicated name. Which, if you're just coming in and are like, oh my god, wait, Shelby's making a novel, what? Go watch Into the Farwood. You can get through the entire series in like 30 minutes. It's on my channel. It's like the first thing that starts playing when you come onto the channel. And it actually details one of the arcs that's going to be in the comic. Not the full arc, just some of the stuff that happened, because it was spooky Halloween times. Thank you. Alright, so when the stream ends, I'm going to be putting a link to the artist who did the original Aru artwork, as well as my friend who did this Aru artwork, which was the later artwork for Aru. Right, I'm just gonna get these. I've never done one on this type of scale, but before I did YouTube, I had an Undertale comic that like did pretty okay on Tumblr. The comic was called Burning I Fell, and it was an alternative timeline of Frisk, and then Tumblr nuked everything. Because, I think my entire channel, like, my entire account got fucked, if I'm honest with you. Because I also did a lot of NSFW artwork, like, pinup artwork. And then when I tried to go log into my Tumblr, like, years later, after I kind of left it for a while, just couldn't get into it anymore. My comic's basically gone, because I mostly just posted it on Tumblr. So this isn't my first rodeo making a comic. This is my first time making one on this big of a scale and trying to make it as nice as I want this one to be. Because this is a story I've been trying to, like, find a way to tell with my very limited schedule for the better part of 2 years. It's my favorite campaign I've ever played in. It's, like, without spoiling anything, I was a bawling, weeping mess when this game ended. It's not that I've never gotten emotional during games. I've never gotten this emotional during a game. This game was really something special to me. As, like, just a player, this game was special. It was through this game that I met my closest group of friends. Yeah. I wanted to do it justice. I wanted to tell this game well. And, this was the way I've decided to do it. As I said, I don't have a timeline for when any of this is going to come out, mostly because I have very limited time. I get like maybe 2 days off a week if I'm lucky, and I work a lot. But I'm hoping that just by chipping away at it over time, I'll have a product for you guys soon. I do plan to just post these as panels, and then by the time I'm done, if anybody wants like a full bound like book of it, I'm going to just get it printed and distribute it that way. But really, I just want to tell the story. I don't really care how I tell, like, in what, like, how quickly I tell it. I just want it told because it was just such a good campaign. And those are too angry eyebrows. I'm trying to give Aru a more neutral expression because he was definitely the out of the high charisma characters, Aru was the less cold one, despite being, I think, the one with the higher intimidation modifier. Aru was not nearly as cold as Valn was. He could definitely be severe. I won't say that he wasn't severe, but he wasn't cold. What the fuck was that? Damn, what did my hand want to do? Man. That works. I'm gonna have to draw his tail, I know, but I'm just... You know what? I could have done a hell of a lot worse on that. That could have been so much worse. I'm happy with that. That's fine. You just make this look a little less messy, and we're just gonna go with it. Quickly block in this tail, and then we can move to Cecilia. And that means, since we've about hit the 1 hour mark, so that means we can probably maybe get to the other cast. We might be able to at least get to Altharian and Dash. Right, okay. Alright, Aru has a tail now, so I'm going to very roughly just kind of block out these scars on his arms. And we'll probably come back and clean them up when I come and do colors. Which I don't know if I'll do them on stream, but we'll have colors eventually. Because these are going to be... What I'm eventually going to do is isolate all of these, do a front, back, and side so that I have a full reference that I can work from. Which takes a lot of time, but it's very helpful for the process. Let's see. We're just gonna work with that. We're gonna call that, because it's time to work on Cecilia, which I believe Cecilia. Where are all my? Good lord, where are all of my reference material? It's all like, so my other monitor is in portrait mode, so that it makes it easier for me to like see Discord and see my chat better. And it just means I have everything just overlapped, squished together so that I can still see everything and look at my OBS. I need to just get a third monitor. Eventually I will. So I have to like pull up a lot of references for Cecilia. Because Cecilia went through quite a few changes, but I think the one was this one. And I'm also gonna grab this for colors. Okay. So I believe if I compare her to Brevere was like about at her chin, if not a little bit low, a little bit higher. So that would make her like her head here-ish. And I'm just gonna move this aside. Try to get extra room because Ari's got to stay on the way. And I will just drop down a quick symmetry tool here. Right. Well, let's do this. So this is the character I kind of have the least amount of reference for this original, for this particular look. Because a big part of Cecilia, or Lament, as you guys will meet her, a big part of her story was a sort of metamorphosis. So, do that. Drew her way too big. Good job, me. That's better. Keep Aru in reference, probably. Would probably be smarter. Right, so she was... Pictures I have that were drawn by Cecilia's original, like Cecilia's player. They were also an artist, a very talented artist. Cecilia seems to have a bit more of a willowy frame, so that's what I'm gonna go with, at least for this particular design of Cecilia. So, clavicle, shoulders, spine. Alright, and we'll go ahead and just put their feet down first. I mean, honestly, for this party... Alright, Fred, considering we didn't get arrested once, it's surprising. I don't actually know. We never got arrested. We had some issues, but we never got arrested. So, you know, I'm surprised we weren't in a police lineup at any point, considering the shit we were doing. But, you know, luck of the dice and luck of the fucking... can't roll below a 25 to lie character. I'd be like, the second that so Brevere became an eloquence bard, and the absolute second that I could get the expertise, she was just fucking broken. Absolutely broken. It got to the point where my DM, just so there would be some sort of challenge, was making me make what was called honor checks in order to convince people. And rightfully so, because Brevere was fucking stupid in how fucking good at lying she was. And how good at convincing people she was. I make a lot of jokes that she was just a politician. Alright, we're just gonna retry those hands, I think. Alright, so... This does look like that Barbie meme that went around, doesn't it? Alright, we're gonna try and give Cecilia some muscles here. Like I said, she was like a... Oh god, I didn't draw those hands in the right spot. Like I said, she seems to have been a bit more willowy and... not quite wiry. Not like... She wasn't Yasha from Critical Role. is kind of what I'm getting at here. She was built, but more swimmer's body, I think, is what I'm getting. Shrink her head a little bit. I just have an issue with that. I always make the cranium way too tall. Right, okay. Now, I don't know if I can actually use the symmetry tool for most of her design because she's got a lot of asymmetry going on, but we're at least gonna do it for her face. Then we'll work from there. Right, now it's just drawing hair. Cecilia had sort of kind of a half-shave thing going on. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of commentary on this one. I really have to keep going back and forth between my references. Alright, ow. Right, and I think the rest is just... Seems like she's got these like rat tails going on almost, except they're like plaited, not quite rat tails. Fun, regardless. By no means making a design judgment. This is honestly, I've only seen the artwork that I'm working from, I think twice, because I think it was drawn after my second session. And like the first one I was actually in, the second section I actually saw. So this was God, this was such a long time ago. She's got some braidage going on back there. Hair's up in the back. And we'll go ham with all the scars later, I think. Because, dear God, Cecilia had a lot of them, but we'll do that a different time. Like after I've gotten this down. I think we're just gonna go with this kind of like tunic look. Because that's all I've got for her for this particular portion of the story. Which was sleeveless. Right, okay. And there's like these places for buckles, but I'm gonna wait to do those until I'm not on a symmetry layer. Oh wait, hold on. I think I'm gonna have to erase this on the other side, but I think she did have a cuff on this side. It looks like it was one of those things where it was like laced together. That's at least what I'm gonna interpret this as. And then we'll just erase it on the one side because it looks cool. Because the reference I have is, I don't know, you guys tell me. This was, again, that player's artwork. A very talented artist. But, like, you can see that there's a sleeve on this side, which I think that's also some chain, so I'll include that, and then sleeveless on this side. Mayday. Oh, that made me laugh way more than it should have. Honestly, I might have actually said fuckles. Who knows? I'm not exactly known for my amazing grasp of the English language. There's a belt here, about where the elbow is, so we'll do that. It was a sleeve Gamps. Pink guy, if you have any more references of Cecilia lying around, if you could just yeet them at at our DMs, I'd appreciate it. Because literally the only ones I have are of the stuff that happened in Falsey and the stuff that happened at post game and the monolith picture. That's it. So anything you might have would be fantastic if you could just yeet it my way and I could do your girl justice. Because the reference I have, at least for when you met Valwyn, you don't have a sleeve on that side. But I will gladly add the other sleeve if it's actually there. I just want to make sure. Oh, that was the wrong tool. Erase, 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 erase. Right. Oh, excuse me. Oh Lord. Oh, I looked at my light and that was not a good idea. Oh Lord. Okay. Oh dear. Well, doing my best then. If you want me to put a sleeve on the other side, I will. And I'll just remember that going forward, so. Just go ahead and trace my lines here. Alright. So if it was a gambeson, it went all the way down, then it didn't stop there. Which means, yeah, that was chain underneath, so we'll just add that. Alright, well then I'll erase the sleeve then. Alright, she stays sleeveless. She stays with one sleeve on just because I'm not redrawing the sleeve again. Like, I can add mail underneath, but this is just what she's getting. I need to also, like, keep in mind, I need to make sure this is something that I can actually repeat and make consistent. So, while I want to include the broad like important things for each character. Like for at least the first time Cecilia shows up, I think, is like all of her scars, her piercings, keeping her hair consistent, and honestly her scowl, because yeah, Cecilia was a interesting human, was an interesting character. Went through a lot of stuff. Right. And frankly, I think I'm going to just steal the pants that you did for the post-Falsy transformation. Just because they look nice and they're good, sturdy pants, and that means I won't have to change too much when that actually happens. So I think these are like these pinstriped. And you have these mid-calf. What kind of boots are these? Those are flat boots. Mid-calf, like flat boots. We'll work on these. So no, that means these shoes need to go further down. Go ahead and add the cuff. It's not a very dramatic boot cuff. And we'll just not follow what I put down for her feet at all because I drew her feet template way too big. And your shoes had buckles on them. Along with this. Yeah, I don't remember many times that she went and got new clothes. In fact, I think I remember specifically there was a point where she was like, no, I'm just gonna wear what I've got. So, no, that fits, you know? She's a fucking blood hunter. What the hell does she have, like, why would she need to change her clothes a lot? Monsters don't care what you're wearing. Right. Okay, so if I... Oh, well, she has to have arms still, I know, but I'm just taking a look back. I might quilt this gambeson just so that it doesn't mix in with her. We're just gonna do that. Just that way it doesn't mix in with the stripes on the pants. And I'll be able to, like, differentiate a bit more once actual color gets involved. I'm also not including any weaponry in these references, because those are going to need their own sheets if they're on their own, if I'm honest with you, because I am really notoriously bad at drawing swords. I think one of the earliest comments I ever got that I considered, like, a mean comment was somebody I had drawn a picture of Nia and I had shown her sword, and somebody was like, no blacksmith worth their salt would ever have drawn made a sword that thin. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm just not gonna ever show the weapons I draw again, because apparently that triggers people. Right, now I'm just gonna go crazy adding scars, and I have some that I can reference, but I also know that Cecilia was basically covered in them, and who fucking knows where they're all from, so I'm just kind of gonna go ham and try to keep them as accurate to the artwork that I have from the player as possible. So, as you know, blood hunters, they go through a lot of shit. I know these hands are derpy. We're just gonna put up with it because I really want to try and get Dash, Nakai, and Altharian done. You know what? We're just gonna call it there. That's the best I think I'm gonna get on first pass. There's some stuff I want to push around and liquidate, but this is what we're gonna call. This is what we're gonna call it right now. I think, I'll probably tweak a few things here and there, specifically the gambeson, because it's laying kinda wonky, but, I really want to kind of get us moving along, because I feel like I'm spending a little more time on this than I did the other two. So, let's move on to, oh dear, who are we moving on to next? Well, first, Shelby's going to take a bathroom break, and then we're going to move on to probably Altharian. I'm gonna save the two hardest ones for last. Alright, I apologize if he cries for me leaving. He's just a baby. A big fucking baby. So, I promise he's just dramatic. Right, okay, let me get this. Buddy. Are you just sitting there looking pretty? Oh, I know. Right. Hopefully he didn't cry too much. I didn't hear him halfway across the house, so I'm guessing that everything is fine there. Just gonna get comfortable. Sorry about how squeaky my fucking chair is. One sec. Right, okay. Now I'm just going to... I just realized I said we're going to move on to one of the ones that's not going to be that hard, and then realize it's fucking Altharian, so it's more plate armor. God damn it, Brett. Right, okay. Be fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Right. So, okay, so Altharian seemed like he was about the same height as Aru, so I'm just gonna make a mark, move it over. Oh man, I'm gonna have to make this. I don't have enough room for Nakai. Damn it. I have enough room for Dash, but not Nakai. Alright, I'm gonna run out of time to do this before we get to Nakai anyway, I know. So, it's fine. Everything's fine. First we will... What was that? What was that? What are you doing? Ringing your bell? Trying to get attention? Right, okay. Back to it. We're gonna drop a ruler down. And we're gonna pull back so that I can try to keep some... So, Altharian was a rogue blade singer, I believe. I think he was Inquisitor Rogue, blade singer wizard, which meant he was incredibly annoying for our TM to deal with. It became a joke that everything hit with the force of the sun, and everything had such a high to hit, just so it would have a chance of hitting Altharian. Like, we went through so many AoEs because it was one of the only ways Altharian could get hit. It's fine, we all survived. Just might show you what kind of player Altharian's player was. Let's see. As it says on the tin, Altharian was kind of our group's, like, security, I think that was... Ash, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I believe they were in charge of security for the ship. I know that they had a lead-lined room. 28 AC. Yeah, thanks, Ash. Yeah, no, Aru, goddammit. Altharian was ridiculous in what Altharian could do, but honestly, it was fine. It was fun. Right, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put their feet. Fucking tall elven bastard. That's what he was. Right. Now this is where the liquidate tool is gonna be my best friend, because I drew his hips way too narrow. That's a bit better. Yeah, we know. You abused Absorbing Ward. I was half expecting Ash to nerf Absorbing Ward, but because of how you used it. It was ridiculous. It was great. It was fucking ridiculous. Alright, now we need to scale him up so that he can match Aru. And we're just gonna draw him, because as far as I know, Altharian looked about the same up until the end, because Altharian then got some, like, incredibly extra armor that I don't even know if I'm going to include, if I'm honest with you, because it might genuinely be on my skill level. Like, be beyond my skill level to draw. Like, I tried to in a piece for our for the final, like, session, and I couldn't do it. I physically couldn't do it. Alright, before we put the circlet on, let's actually figure out where his ears are gonna be. No, Absorbing Ward is a spell. It's just a spell that, like, is broken when you combine it with everything that this character's player did. Like, he's not lying when it's not a lie when we say 28 AC. No, that was Altharian. Altharian was fucking impossible to hit. Like, I believe one of the very few times Altharian got hit, it was literally an insta-death thing, and that was, like, he was the only person who could be fucking taken down by it, because everybody else had a normal fucking AC, and did not require, like, a save, and then taking lethal damage. Just dead. Is it a homebrew spell? Was not aware. All I know is that it was broken as hell, and I'm surprised you haven't changed it. Right. Okay. More plate mail. Let's go. This hurts me. This hurts me on a physical level. Right. Let's go. Thankfully, his doesn't seem to be as ornate as Aru's. Aru was like a whole ass paladin of Mistra, whereas I think Tharian was just wearing practical plates. At least I don't remember Altharian's being super decorative, and you know what? This is just how I'm drawing it, so correct me if I'm wrong. I will fix it after the live stream. Right, so right. And of course, he had a cape. Aru and him were the cape boys, and he had the skirt. He wore white pants and black boots. And as for arms, he wore full sleeves. Oh, well, what did I just do? Oh dear. So he wore full sleeves and arm guards. And I think the gloves were fingerless. They're going to be fingerless for this. And now it's hair. Well, first I want to put the circlet on, and then we'll work on hair. Because his hair was mostly a pretty symmetrical cut. It was just parted down the middle. Here's one of those things that I don't like to do with the symmetry tool too much. I mean, doing it up here on the crown is fine, but I mostly like to do it freehand because hair doesn't ever fall symmetrically. Clothes can be symmetrical, but hair is very rarely falling symmetrically. Alright. Oh, I forgot to draw his neck. Poor guy. Sorry. Go ahead and draw like an undershirt. lace the arm guards up. See. Alright, that'll work. Scroll back, we'll call that. Call that Autharan, yeah? They all standing on the same. No, Aru is not. Aru needs to go down a tad. And you need to go up a tad. You're about, these two were both, I think, the same height. Right, okay. So next is going, oh god, this is actually going to be hard because I have to draw a tabaxi from like front facing. I don't know how to do that. Alright, well, can I look at your face for a moment? Hey buddy, let me see your face. Let me see your face. Alright, I can't use my cat as a reference, unfortunately. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Let's see. Dash of gold. Let's see. And dash, I will probably end up being our last one because I expect him to take me a very long time. Which means I don't have to embarrass myself with Nakai on stream. Sorry, Alistair, if you're watching. Okay, so, Dash was 7 feet. Like, over 7 feet. We're gonna put him here. Dash had a wild magic accident and grew 12 inches, and this is just the reality we live in of a giant kitty who has a better stealth modifier than all of us. Nope, nope, Shelby. Alright, we're gonna... I need to start looking up some references is what I need to do, but we're going to call this a shape, and this is not the final shape, because frankly, this looks more like a stuffed animal than an actual kitty man, but I need to get his, like... Go get his other reference material. Dash... Yeah, I mean, well, Dash was pretty chill. As, like, a character, Dash was chill as hell. I think that was largely Dash's player is chill as hell. Like, out of all of us, I think Dash's player is probably the most chill. Encircled D20, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Oh yeah, no, the kitty man was chill as hell. Then again, I think it's because Kitty Man's player is chill as hell. I mean, I don't know. How would you react if a 7-foot-tall cat man walked into your establishment? I can't confirm or deny if Dash liked catnip, because I don't think any of us ever tried it. And unfortunately, I was not playing a character who was nearly, like... I wasn't playing a character who was likely to do such shenanigans as try to give the tabaxi catnip. Bravera was unfortunately had a massive stick up her ass, and she was very proper. Alright, so now I get to draw degraded legs. This is gonna be fun. Okay, alright, Ash. Right, so I'm actually gonna pull up a comic. Oops, I just minimize everything. Right, I'm gonna pull something up, actually, because Ash is trying to drag me in these fucking comments. In my fucking chat here. So, yes, my character got addicted to magic, but there was this was something I had drawn for it. There was a reason. She wasn't just downing liquid magic because she felt like it. What originally happened is it was a boss fight in which we were in rooms of liquid magic, like magic distilled into a liquid form. And what it would do is if you were a caster, if you drank it, it would restore, or stepped in it, it would restore a spell slot. And I was playing a goddamn warlock. I get like 2 spell slots tops, alright? So I'm gonna fight for everyone I get. So the second she realized the effect it was having, she just kept using it for the fight. And then suddenly, Bravera, you have a magic addiction. And it was like a whole fucking subplot. And thankfully, like, she got, she had her corruption removed right before she started having withdrawal symptoms because she ran out of the vials. But yes, that's what happened, and I just... Don't fucking drag me, Ash. She was still incredibly proper, but she was also a politician, and what politician doesn't do illicit substances behind the scenes? Oh, God. Right. Dash's feet are gonna look fucked up because, frankly, I'm gonna have to probably fix these off camera. I'm gonna squish down a little, move up. Alright, these hands are... Tactical addiction. She didn't know. None of us knew what the hell was gonna happen. Like, literally, none of us knew. Bravera was the fucking guinea pig here. And I wasn't the only person doing this in the fight either. So, you know, I just kind of failed the con save. Bravera was very good at all of her mental stats. I think she had like a 15 or 16 in intelligence, like a 14 in wisdom, and a 20 in charisma by the end. She had garbage physical stats. She was wet tissue paper. This woman, like, went down just about every combat. Despite trying not to stay close to anything, but she would get she would get caught in an AoE, or she would get, I feel like these are way too... She would get caught in an AoE, or she'd, like, somebody would decide, hey, I don't like this bitch fireballing us in the corner, so I'm gonna go after her. And then suddenly, Bravera's in a lot of trouble. I remember, like, she straight up had a... What are they called? Flins? The fucking, think they're called Flins. The super fucking terrifying. I should have been looking up a panther face. I just got distracted. Copy image. It's the type of gnoll that has the whip that like can paralyze you and shit. I got one of those coming after me once because the gnolls decided they did not like this random bitch in the corner throwing fireballs at the wooden platform. So I got hit with the flint whip. Once got paralyzed. Twice got crit. Second time got crit. Went down and like I went from full to nothing. Like fucking Revere was not built for battle, but here she is. Alright. And these ears need to be a bit more round. The whole head needs to be a little bit more round. Right. Thankfully, I get to cover most of this up with armor. Me bitching about armor for the last 15 minutes now. Hey, I get to draw armor, so I don't have to draw how much I show how much I just don't know how to draw cats. I think that helps it a little. Right. Let's see if we can get Dash polished off before stream time's over, yeah? Okay, that looks a little better. So, Dash was, as I said, he was our rogue. He was our fighter rogue. Dash's player actually wasn't around for the entirety of Beyond the Horizon. Like, he came back to the end, but I believe he was working abroad at the time and was closer to my time zone than the group's time zone. This is a group of predominantly Brits, so we play on UK time. And I believe he was in Canada at the time, and on like the Pacific, on like the Pacific coast side of Canada. So he was like 3 hours behind me, where I'm 5 hours behind everyone else. So it just kind of made getting him to play with us a little difficult. So there was a time when Dash wasn't really with us, but when I actually got a chance to play and have Dash around, Dash was awesome. I can't say too much about Dash because a lot of what I experienced with Dash was Dash's story, and I don't want to spoil shit about that. Sorry, I'm not like actually like letting you guys know the characters too much, other than like general mannerisms and what their classes were. But I want to tell a lot of this in the actual story, rather than, you know, me tell the story in a live stream and be like, all right, now go read the comic that I put out in a couple months. Which, that's not me setting a timeline for this comic, by the way. I have no idea when I'm going to be able to start putting it out. I just know that it's the project I want to work on right now, and I'm enjoying myself working on it. Dash's outfit is also quite asymmetrical, so we're gonna be kind of jumping back and forth between the ruler and the normal lair. I can tell that I did so much to hide Dash's legs in this party picture because I just didn't want to figure out how they worked, and now it's coming back to haunt me. Right, so Dash also had boots of flying, but because he's a tabaxi, I kind of played with them a little bit. I'm gonna leave the legs pretty undetailed because I really need to just go look at some references. But I will go ahead and add like the insinuation for the wings. The way the boots of fly work, like looked to me on the characters that had like not human feet was just like straps with like little wings on them that would wrap around their toes. And I used to be able to sit and draw for like literally 12, 15 hours at a time. Now I can't do it for more than 2 without my hand just deciding, nope, you need to stop. This hurts. And I've tried braces. I've gotten the glove. Just nothing seems to work. I think I'm just getting old. It's that lovely nearing 30 energy coming for me, I guess. Right, so Dash also wore arm guards. So we'll go ahead and put those on. Lace them up. And I always drew Dash with paw pads. Remember that. Alright. So for the first like really rough pass of these characters, it's not the worst. You can tell that I'm way more confident drawing some of them than others, but I'm gonna have to go through all of these and clean them up eventually. Anyways, so they'll all get back up to par. You can tell that I was like really comfortable drawing Aru and Cecilia. And Brevere, I could draw her with my eyes closed, and then get to these 2 boys, and I'm like, okay. Am I drawing them right? Who the hell knows? But, now my hand is actually cramping. We're going to probably do Nakai off screen. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back up so that you can see who I'm talking about, who's our reptilian friend here. He is a Gek, who is which is a homebrew race that my DM created. They're just like small lizard people that live in the jungles. So we'll be drawing him probably off camera with a lot of reference and struggling, because I thought it was hard to draw a goddamn cat face head on. How the hell do you draw a lizard face head on? I don't fucking know. But I think that's probably going to come close to concluding, since I did just want to get the first pass out, and I'm not going to be able to draw Nakai in 10 minutes. But this is the first 5. Remember, there are 6 of them, and I will have the 6th one done relatively soon. I just really need to give my hand a break, if I'm honest. So I'm going to grab the kitty and move us over to the camera to say goodbyes. Ow. Ow. Okay, that was my hand and the desk. Ow. Right, buddy. Wanna come say goodbye? Come here. Come here, Mama. Alright, so thanks everybody for coming by. I know this was a bit more discombobulated than I usually am. Mostly because I did not pre-draw any of my skeletons or anything. I just was like, nope, we're just gonna do this. So, yeah. This is the party. Say goodbye to my precious baby who's been sitting there in cat cam. I'm gonna find a way to get him more in frame. Just, that'll probably be, like, after I move. It'll be a little easier. You guys all have a bit more open space, because right now I'm just kind of shoved in the corner of a very small bedroom, like a 10 by 10 bedroom. So, that also being said, that for the next couple weeks, you'll probably get a stream or 2 from me. But after that, might take a little longer, mostly because I don't know what kind of internet I'm gonna have. I have very good internet here, because I live with a bunch of gaming nerds who want to spring for good internet. But I have no idea where I'm moving yet. I have no idea what kind of internet I'm going to have access to, and if I'm even going to be able to stream on it. So we'll see, and I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and stream for as much of next month as is possible, but I also am moving at the end of next month, so I feel like a lot of next month is going to be me scrambling to like pack. But since I am doing Art Fight next month, I know I will be doing at least one stream where I work on some Art Fight attacks. So that'll at least happen. I just don't quite know when, and my days off are very inconsistent right now. I do not know what days I have off usually until like the 2 days before the weekend's over. So we'll just play it by ear and we'll see. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stream the actual working on of the comic, because I do want the story to like be experienced rather than me just talking about it and rambling and not making a lot of sense. And I also kind of have to go through a lot of what's in the story itself and see what I can actually use as like free use stuff and open source and what is not open source. So because we have a lot of very obscure D&D lore, like my story specifically involves a lot of Greyhawk lore. So we'll see. We'll see, and we will try, and I'm sure I'll come up with a good end product. So, right. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I hope you guys have a good day. Say goodbye to Levi, who's being harassed because I just won't let him sleep. And thank you for coming and sitting with me and drawing some characters. Alright, you guys have a good night.